going on, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Superpower Review, the show that brings you news and reviews on comic book related things. I am in the studio with my best friend, Jake Brunell. What's going on?
What's going on, guys?
Remember, he's the co-host, but today he is the #1 Batman Who Laughs fan today. That's your official title today.
Fantastic, I'll take it.
Today we're going to be going over the Batman Who Laughs #1. We're going to break it down real quick. Don't want to spend too much time breaking it down, but then we're going to give it a full hard review. So let's get right into it.
Sure.
So this came out Wednesday on New Comic Book Day. Was probably one of my favorite pickups of the week. The Batman Who Laughs. This is written by Snyder, and the interior is done by Jock, which is really nice to see some stuff with Jock. This is the Capullo cover. This is a variant cover. I always have to get the Capullo one because, you know what, I need more Capullo in my life. I really do.
He always has that nice grim, dark art. I like it. Like, it's just like, it's fitting for this book. I like it.
All right, so let's go over break down this this comic book real quick. So Batman's on a high-speed chase, okay, and we find out that these guys are taking out dead bodies from Gotham to another town, okay? Batman.
Yeah. They're transporting, and they're smuggling, and they're making it illegal. Like, it's not even like a big deal.
Exactly. They're smuggling bodies. Batman stops them, and we find pretty much the first twist of the book. We find a dead Bruce Wayne.
Yep. So pretty much Bruce Wayne just saved dead Bruce Wayne.
Pretty much. And then we go into the morgue. Batman is finding out more information about this Batman. This Bruce Wayne. We find out that he sees signs of happiness in this Bruce Wayne. We see a tattoo where he pretty much knows that it's a daughter tattoo because he figures if he ever had a daughter, he was going to name this little girl this name.
Was it May, I believe?
May, yes, you were right. What else? And then
it was the scars too. A lot of the scars, pretty much the happy Bruce Wayne who passed away was found to have less scars than the one who found him. Because the thing is, he found him up to a certain point. So they were living the same life up to X amount of years until Bruce Wayne, who passed away, found happiness and decided to quit being Batman. They found more to life than just kind of being a vigilante.
Touché.
And so that was kind of a big identifier that he was just like, wait, this is me. But at one point, we kind of went separate ways.
Right. So pretty much, he said after analyzing scars, he said this Batman pretty much gave up Batman after the Nightfall where Bane broke his back.
That's right. Yep.
Okay. So that was our first big twist.
Yep.
And then pretty much, what I grasp is that he finds out that this is probably the works of the Batman Who Laughs.
What I'm curious about is, how does he know about it?
How does he know about it?
Is this the one from the Metal series? I mean, I'm curious about that. Like, how does this Batman know about the Batman Who Laughs? Because Batman Who Laughs, I don't think really dug around too far in too many like universes. From what I mean, he's a fairly new character. We don't know that much about him. So I mean, I'm not sure.
And then we get this. Batman. Bruce Wayne says, Alfred, we got to go to Arkham. So then he jumps ahead a little bit, and then we see. Here, I don't know if you can really get it, but we see Batman, but it's not the Batman that we know. I believe this is a first appearance, and we're calling this the Grim Knight Batman, and he pretty much breaks into Arkham for the Batman Who Laughs, and the goal of this is to kill the Joker. So, but then we see the very first time of this book, we see the Batman Who Laughs, and we think it's the Joker being killed, but then we find out that it was a hoax and it was a replacement Joker.
Yep.
Which I thought was pretty cool. But go ahead.
It's interesting. I mean, that you got the Batman. Was it the Grim Knight Batman? You got the Batman Who Laughs. They're both at Arkham. If you look at the pages, it's kind of like it's a little convoluted. I mean, did they cross paths, something like that? Because if we look, you got, if you go one more, I think.
One more?
Yep. Oh, let's go right here. So right here, this is where he first appears, right? And he's there to kill the Joker.
Yeah.
But then you turn a couple pages, and it's actually the Batman Who Laughs who does in the duplicate.
Yeah.
Batman, the Grim Knight Batman, is the one that actually kills the guards.
Now, I think this was my favorite part of the whole book, was the conversation between Batman and
The Joker?
Commissioner Gordon.
Oh, Commissioner, okay.
Yeah, I think this was probably one of my favorite, because this is pretty much, Batman's pretty much telling Commissioner Gordon how dangerous this Batman Who Laughs. He says, this is not another Joker. This is the soulless Joker in a Batman body who has no morals.
And everything at his hands, everything
all
at his
the
fingertips.
knowledge, all the martial arts knowledge, the detective work. And what is Batman's moral? Batman has to win.
Yep.
So that was pretty interesting. And then we find out that Batman's been hiding the Joker in his own Batcave.
Well, I don't know. Did Batman put him there, or did the Joker find his way through the sewers to there?
Yeah, and that's
Because
why
I feel like it is. I feel like if they talk, I think it talks early on. It's saying that that the Joker traced back to.
So we'll get into it.
sewers.
We'll get into that. And then at the last page, so the Joker appears at the Batcave. Pretty much Batman says, hey, listen, we got to work together. And of course, Joker is like, no. And he threatens him with a gun. He shoots himself with a dummy gun. And we find out there's a poison in the Joker's heart that releases a toxin to make the person who killed him crazy.
Pretty much how the Batman Who Laughs came to be.
Exactly. So Batman is turning into another Batman Who Laughs, pretty much. And Joker says, listen, if you're going to beat the Batman Who Laughs, you have to become the Batman Who Laughs. Okay, so now let's go into theories now that we broke it down. I just wanted to break it down really quick in case for the viewers. Okay?
I want to talk about one thing before we do.
Go ahead.
I like the very beginning. I love how the whole thing opened up. Snyder did a very good job, I believe, on painting a very serene landscape, because it opens up with Batman talking about his very first memory, and which is a happy one actually. It's with his parents. He's playing a game, was a Breakthrough, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And he's trying to get. He's like, yeah, you can't have dinner, you can't go in, or whatever, until you break through us. And like, it was a game of like comfort for saying like, his parents aren't really gonna let him down. And it was actually a very peaceful reading material, honestly. He painted a very serene, and kind of just abruptly took that all away. And I thought that was actually really cool. It was very interesting how that kind of like,
we see somewhat of a happy moment.
Yeah, and that's something you don't know with, like, it's just, I thought they did a really good job with that, and they just kind of painted it over to how everything just went to crap. And like, it literally went to,
Snyder's a great writer, and I'm really, obviously, he should be writing this because he's a co-creator of the Batman Who Laughs. But I love Snyder's work when it comes to Batman, because he has a perfect balance of having a Batman who kicks ass, and then he has a well-balanced Batman who goes through detective work. And that is my Batman. That's the Batman I really like to see. And he's twisty. Snyder's twisty when it comes, and it goes perfect with Jock's artwork.
Yeah.
All right, so
Did we show them the Jock cover?
yeah, we can show them the Jock cover. This is the Jock cover.
So this is the original art that comes out with the book.
Yeah.
It's the number 111 series. The Capullo is the 2, the 121.
I like the Capullo
Me
better,
too,
which is
but
why
I
went
do
to
feel
Capullo.
like the Jock cover kind of lends to the idea of who Batman Who Laughs is.
And then I also got a blank cover, and I had to draw on it, so I had to make. I had to make it another
Personalize it a little bit?
Yeah,
I
personalize
like
it a little bit. So okay, so this was definitely not a series. When I was thinking of Batman Who Laughs series, first of all, I was not thinking it was going to be written in this way, okay? I didn't think it was going to be written in a Batman perspective, number one. I thought we were maybe going to get a little more backstory on the Batman Who Laughs. That's how I expected it. So I wasn't like expecting like a full-on attack on Gotham. I was not expecting that at all.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did a little Quentin Tarantino in it.
Maybe.
Kind
Like
of
a
like,
little-
like, here's what's going on. Let's like back reel real quick.
Right,
A
right.
little Pulp Fiction for you.
What did you think about this book? What
I highly enjoyed it. I really did. I'm actually got so many questions now. I mean, like they really jump
twisty.
from one thing, and they never answered a single thing. It's actually very frustrating more than anything. But I really like. I'm excited to pick up the next book. I'm kind of a variant collector, so I'll be collecting a few things.
So my question is, okay, so we have different opinions, okay? So that fake Joker that was in the jail cell, okay? I really do think that Batman, the Batman that we know, knew that the Batman Who Laughs was going to go to Arkham to kill the Joker, and I don't want to say he put the dummy in because I think he knew that he was going to get killed. I don't know, but I really do think that Batman went to go take Joker out of Arkham, and he had him hidden in the Batcave to keep him safe. I really do think, because these two characters are so infatuated with each other. They literally cannot live without each other. And that's how I really feel. Okay, like they are pretty much Sherlock when it comes to
Moriarty.
Thank you for the save. I was like, oh man, I had his name and now I forgot it. So like, I really do feel like he went to go break the Joker out. I don't think he put the fake Joker in. I think that could have been the Joker's work. I don't know, but there's so many other things that are happening in this book, but I really do feel like he went to go save Joker. I really do.
What's the point of the dummy then?
I don't know. See, that's the thing that throws me off. I don't know what the point of the dummy is, because he even says, listen, at the end, he goes, we have to work together in order. So I really do feel like he broke him out of Arkham so they could team up. And for a second, silly me, I thought they really were going to work together. I really
God, no.
Exactly. I was like, stupid me. Like, why would I think that? This is the Joker we're talking about. I really did feel like they were going to work together.
Well, now in a sense they kind of are. Batman Who Laughs and all. I'm curious. I'm like, what was Joker's ploy? Like, oh, we need to kill Batman Who Laughs. Let me make you Batman Who Laughs. You just double down. What makes you think that Batman's not going to become the same thing? Like, you just made him twice as strong, or like, I don't get it. Like, what was Joker's thought? Like, I don't like.
I know what you mean. It's this book. See, okay, another reason why I love this book so much is that I can't predict anything that's going to happen in the next 6 series, and that's what I like. Okay, I like to be tossed upside down and going, what is happening right now?
I don't know oh man, I don't even know how to like word this, but I mean, like, it seems like you play a chess game and it's a methodical thought process of how things happen. There is no, like, it's kind of like I'm gonna move my queen here, and you go, okay, I'm gonna use my checker to like capture you, like.
Checker in chess.
Yeah, like exactly. Like, come on, there's no rules, there's no baseline, there's no nothing. It's kind of, I don't know, just weird.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. But what really bums me out is, since of course I want to know what's going on. The bummer about this miniseries is that this miniseries, a new issue is going to be coming out every single month, and that's given if there are any delays going on, if everything is sent in on time. So this miniseries is scheduled to end for May, and that is a long time for me to wait.
You and me both.
So we're going to get another issue next month. I can't wait to see where this story pretty much unfolds.
Do we have like a set day for it to come out? Second week, first week?
I'm not sure, to be exact.
Okay.
I'm not sure. But it was really refreshing to see Snyder come back to write this. Again, I love how Snyder writes. It's got some mystery to it. I love how he writes Batman. Again, the perfect balance between kick-ass and kind of the detective all in one. That is Batman to me. A lot of writers get stuck with doing too much of one thing and not having a blend of the others. Seeing Jock come back and doing artwork is really refreshing. If you're not familiar with Jock's artwork, then you really need to fix that problem right away. You really do. This was a really cool panel of just seeing the Batman Who Laughs smiling with what we think is the Joker. Cool, very, very cool. And again, I think again one of my favorite scenes was Batman explaining to Commissioner Gordon like how serious the situation really is. I think that was one of my favorite parts of the whole book. What was your favorite part
I think it's just the opening. I really enjoyed the duality of it all. Like I enjoyed like how like I don't know. It just shows you like where Batman came from. I mean, I know the story has been done a million times, but I mean, I think it was a really nice way of being put. Of kind of like I went from a 0 to 100. Like that's kind of like there was no happy middle ground. It was kind of. But I mean, I also like that the flipping around with the detective work of dead Batman, dead Bruce Wayne, being found on. I don't know. It was a very cool way to connect the dots.
Right.
To lead to where they want to go with it.
I hope there's more story about that dead Bruce Wayne. I really do.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was a Batman Who Laughs who killed him. I mean, that's because that's what Batman Who Laughs is going for. He's trying to kill out the Batman. So I mean, it's a fair assumption, I think. How do you feel? Here's my question for you.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the Grim Knight Batman?
How do I feel about the Grim Knight Batman? Well, if you really think about it, what he's doing in this book is not really, is only like a next step level of what the Flashpoint Batman does. Really, he's just a.
That's not even Batman at that point. But yeah,
he's just a Punisher Batman. Really, almost not really, sort of.
He's got a whole bunch of guns, kind of.
But I think he's cool. Like, when I saw Tyler Kirkman's variant cover with like Batman with all a bunch of guns, I was like, what is this? Like, Batman doesn't use guns. Like, what is this? I was ready to be like, no, triggered.
Reference for you millennials.
But then you read the story like, oh, that's what Tyler Kirkman was doing. Oh, okay.
Honestly, I feel like Batman. The Grim Knight Batman in this book was like the villain to me in this entire thing.
Yeah, well, he's like a henchman to the Batman Who Laughs.
You think they're working together?
Yeah, I really do.
I don't know. I think the Grim Knight is trying to cut off the Batman Who Laughs.
Because
kind of like burning a forest fire. You gotta make a burn line so we can just stop the fire from spreading. I think that's what Batman Who Laughs Grim Knight was going for. But I really feel like he was the villain. Out of everyone in this book, I feel like the Batman Who Laughs was not the most dangerous character.
I don't know.
But not in a good way either.
Well, the
Grim Knight was the worst thing to ever be in this book right now.
There was also a part where he's talking to Commissioner Gordon about that Grim Knight Batman. I don't know. You might be onto something there. You might be. I don't know.
I mean, don't get me wrong. He probably has some twisted sense of morality, but he's got that one rule. It's the one rule that kept him from going over the line. And I don't know who's more dangerous at this point. You got a Joker Batman or Batman with no rules. So
you're thinking possibly another villain then? Two villains in one short miniseries.
Yes and no, but not. I mean, I don't know. Not a villain per se. But I mean, definitely not a hero.
What if, now that our regular Batman is poisoned, what if it takes up to the Grim Knight to come and save Gotham?
Exactly, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, Batman who won't break his rule.
Yeah.
But you have the one that does.
I get you. I see what you mean.
So I don't know. Like,
Look at this.
I'm more worried about the Batman who's just got nothing to lose at this point.
Right. Interesting. Very, very interesting. All right, so if we were to give this a grade right now, as you know, it's traditional to give a review using the CGC grade. What would you give this book?
I'm sitting around 9.4.
9.4. Okay, why?
There are a couple things that I didn't like how they did. Like, I was kind of like thrown off by the some of the conversations were very like. I had to go back and read a couple times, just kind of make sure I read how this played out right and everything like that.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to make sure I was reading this correctly. It got a little confusing at times, but the artwork is great. The story is fantastic. So there's a couple things that kind of just like threw me off that I had to go back. It wasn't like completely seamless, but the story was very well told.
I see what you mean.
So I really enjoyed it. Like the conversation with Batman and Alfred when they're at the morgue. Yeah, I understood he was undercover, but it was very hard to kind of tell right away that he was. Because, I mean, at this point, it was just, I don't know, it's just there was no kind of
Transition?
Yeah, it was just kind of thrown in, and then you had to know that he was undercover.
I see what you mean.
Stuff like that. I mean, but I enjoyed it thoroughly.
I understand that. There were a couple of transitions, like, seeing the Grim Knight Batman, and then all of a sudden Batman Who Laughs. Like, whoa, what just happened?
Yeah, like there's
I know
no
what you mean.
explanations.
Yeah.
So,
Anything else?
honestly, I love everything else. The storytelling is great. The artwork is great, and I'm not gonna take away from anything because the questions haven't been answered. Maybe down the road I can figure things out and maybe I can judge them a little fair. But right now I'm basing it just on this number one. So.
Well, if I have to give this one a review using the CGC grade, I think I'm going to give this one a 9.6.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 9.6 because I love how different it was. Again, it wasn't the Batman Who Laughs miniseries I was expecting. This is, again...
It's the one you needed.
It was... It was the one I needed. No, I think it's different that it tells the story through Batman's perspective. Again, I was expecting, the Batman Who Laughs to be kind of like the main character, I guess. Definitely very twisty, and that makes me excited because I don't know what I'm in for. I know I'm in for some craziness. That's for sure. That's for certain. Great story. I love Snyder's writing as always, and seeing Jock doing artwork, and then seeing them together, nice. So I really enjoyed this, and I really hope that this story doesn't fizzle out.
Absolutely.
I hope that there's a point where, like, obviously if you get a six issue miniseries, you're gonna have one that's gonna be like a filler, probably.
No, not in 6. I can understand if it was longer, but there's so much information that already they got to need to cover. It's 6 issues. I wouldn't be surprised they do more tie-ins like they did in the Metal series. The Metal had 26 books if you wanted to read every single bit about what's going on in the Metal. And they did 6 for the main story, and then they have 7 shoot-offs for every single person they wanted to talk about, that everyone who's a Batman Justice League villain. There's so much to cover. They broke it down, they split it up. I feel like this book's going to run way longer than May.
Well, we'll see where this rabbit hole brings us, that's for sure. We'll have to wait. And, over popularity over the Batman Who Laughs, I wouldn't be surprised if they do more with this character, because this character is...
There's so much potential, because,
This is one of my new favorite characters.
Oh, absolutely.
Hands down. I love this character. I'm so interested in this character, and I really love mashups. I really do. I love mashups. So if you did not get this book, you're crazy, and you totally missed out. I'm sure you can still find some on shelves. You probably won't be able to get a variant cover like the Capullo one, because this one, when I went there, this was like the last one. So you got to pick up this book. You got to read it. If you're not, you're totally missing out. I think that's all I got to say. You got to pick it up. You got to read it, because it's definitely going to be a good story in my opinion. So, Jake, got anything else?
Send out the next issue.
Send out the next issue. DC, send me a free issue of all of them, and I'll read them, and I'll guarantee you I'll give you a review. I'll say nothing but good things, okay? I promise. I think that's going to do it for this episode. If you liked it, make sure you give it a like, and if you'd like to see more from the channel, make sure you subscribe. And then let's start a conversation in the comment section. Tell us what you think, what you thought about the Batman Who Laughs, what your predictions are. I would like to hear from them, and think about it, ponder about it. That would be cool. And hey, let's do this. If you like this Batman Who Laughs cover that I drew, okay, comment saying I like it, okay, and whoever comments I like it, I will put your name in a hat, and whoever gets picked, I will send this to you for free. This is drawn by me. I just have fun drawing, and I like people appreciating what I do. So if you like it, comment. I'll put your name in the hat, pick it out. If you live in the States, shipping's free. If you live in like Japan, then you're gonna have to pay. So that's gonna do it for today's episode. I hope you liked this episode. We'll see you guys really soon.